Stipe Miocic set records in the heavyweight division because of the Cleveland Fire Department, and Sean Strickland is going to set records at 185 pounds because of that POS car. Would you like to hear me out? All right. Stipe Miocic, one thing that happens when you become champion, it puts you in a built-in PR tour. Your phone is going to be ringing, and your bookings and the dates and where you need to be, opportunities are going to open. Shows and media, right? This sport as a business does not exist without media opportunities and exposure. But you can't get those. They're reserved for a select few. So if you become the champion of the world, who, by the way, is very handsome, who, by the way, is college educated, who, by the way, is a first responder, all of a sudden people would like to have you on their programs. And you've got to fly out and you've got to go do those programs in person. That has cost more champions the belt than anything else in UFC history. That right there. All of a sudden, you're not doing what you did to get there, right? If you want something different, real easy, do something different. So all of a sudden, you're training at midnight on a treadmill in the hotel gym instead of 2 sessions a day at your gym with your teammates in a familiar environment with your coaches. And all of a sudden, those add up, and you got to be in LA, and then you're going to stay the night because you're going to do another show. Then you're going to catch a red eye, and you're going to go out to New York. You're going to get a couple of hits there. Then you'll fly back to Cleveland. You're going to have a day to rest and recover from the jet lag and the travel. Then you'll be back in the gym. Before you know it, you lost a week. You're going to do 4 of those before your next fight, which is only 12 weeks away. 33% of your training is gone. That has cost more champions the belt than anything else. And one of the reasons Stipe was able to keep that belt so long and set the records that he does is because he kept the job within the fire department. And when he got asked to go and do these media opportunities, and him saying, no, I'm on the schedule, I've got to work, there was no way to argue that. Like, there was nobody that could argue and say, oh, no, hey, you don't need that fire department. I don't think anything's going to catch fire this time of year, Stipe. Come on. Right? I mean, there's no way around it. So there he is. He's at home with his wife and child, in bed on time, doing the right things, up in the morning, eating the right foods, going to the gym, getting the right training, getting the right advice, staying consistent, working to get better. That is literally the only difference between Stipe and every other champion there has been. And he is the champion that set records. Not very many guys know how to deal with success. And you will say it won't change me. You guys would say that now I'm going to play the lottery, but I'd still go to work tomorrow. I love it. Shut up. That's just a stupid thing to say. Just so you know. Like, you don't look noble and righteous like you think you do. You look stupid when you say that. But most guys can't deal with that level of success. They don't believe that they should have it. They don't believe they should have the money. So the first thing they do is they go spend the money. So now they don't have it. Now they're back to where they saw themselves. But Sean Strickland didn't do that. He driving that same car. It's been limping him up and down the highway for the last decade. It's very relevant. It truly is very relevant. He is the same guy going to the same gym, doing the same things. His media hasn't even changed. You guys might listen up a little bit more now. But if you did go listen and then you juxtapose it against his old media, he's doing the same stuff. He's the same guy. And it's a very relevant factor. Because this match with Du Plessi is a grudge match. And you don't get a true grudge match very often. There is nothing in combat that sells like a true grudge. Nothing. Nationalistic has always been an angle that particularly boxing will go after, and it's seen real success. Championships and titles, they're just important. There used to be things in life that you had to fight for. Like if you had a tribe or a village, it was very important that you had a good fighter within that tribe or a village. Because if other people came and found you, they're going to take your tribe and village. They might even take your life, unless you had somebody that could fight back. But we're not in that spot anymore. If you were to lose a fight, you lose a little bit of money and a little prestige. So what are we fighting for? We're not fighting for territory. We're not fighting for life. So some promoter got an idea, late 1800s, and he threw a belt out there, and they went and fought for that. I'm one of those guys. Dedicated my life to go winning that belt that some promoter threw on the ground. Said only one of you gets it. It'll be the best one of you. And that was enough. It's enough for most. But a true grudge is very, very rare. And this is the second that Du Plessis has found himself in. I mean, maybe we need to give him some credit. It looked like he had just kind of caught lightning in a bottle with Adesanya, the right dance partner. You come at Izzy, he's going to come at you. A lot of champions won't. They'll dismiss you. They'll dismiss you because they're up here. They're the champion. You're trying to get to them. They won't address you. Adesanya will. And Du Plessis was smart enough to know that when he went after him. And that is the hottest storyline that I've ever observed. But now you have Du Plessis back. And I don't even know what he was doing there fighting Strickland. I literally don't even know where that came from. My guess is either Izzy or Chimaev is penciled in for UFC 300. So they need to get a championship match done to then draw in, and I believe they would like it in that order. Izzy in a rematch against Sean, or Izzy finally in the grudge match against Du Plessis. If they can't get Izzy, bring in Chimaev. That's what I believe. But there's some kind of a rush to do this match. And it doesn't feel that way now. Now we're all counting down the minutes. But when it was booked, it did feel that way. And I didn't know what Du Plessis was doing here. Why is Du Plessis being given an opportunity for the same belt that he refused to try for when Strickland got the call and went in and won it? That was my question. And it's a very interesting spot. I mean, that's where we were as recently as a week ago. Du Plessis got on stage at a press conference one time with a microphone and did all of the right things. I don't think he had a grudge with Strickland. I don't think he had any heat with Strickland at all. I didn't think Du Plessis was the kind of guy that went around and had heat. I thought he just had it with Izzy. That's what it appeared to me. But maybe we've got a real marketing juggernaut over here and need to give him a little bit more credit. I got to tell you, not for nothing, Du Plessis has charm. He was very charismatic on that stage. Truly. It was done in his eyes. It was done in his smile. He was a real handsome guy. Can Du Plessis go 25 minutes hard? It's a good question. Many of your champions can go 25 minutes hard until they become champion. Then they get sucked into the media tour. Then they're bringing along a coach that'll hold mitts for them in a stairwell of a hotel before they get up and get in a chauffeured ride to go to the next set and go to the green room and go sit on Ellen's couch, right? I mean, that literally, the built-in PR and media tour that comes with being champion has cost more champions the title than anything. But I don't think that's going to get Strickland. And I don't know if Du Plessis can go 25 minutes. I don't have evidence that he can't. But I know Strickland can. And I do think it matters. And Du Plessis is a 2-1 favorite. Du Plessis has been out for a meaningful amount of time. Wasn't it International Fight Weekend when he fought Robert Whittaker? I mean, that is a meaningful period of time to be out. Does that factor in? Does that help? Just how good is Du Plessis? I just did a piece with ESPN. Was it Daniel Cormier or was it John Anik? But one of the two suggested Du Plessis as a fighter of the year for the entire year. He only had one match. And you know what? I can't disagree. I can't disagree that he should be in the discussion. I don't know how he would move in front of an Islam or a Leon, but that one performance over Robert Whittaker, there's not 5 guys in the history of the middleweight division that could beat that guy. Not that guy. Can he bring him back? Is he still there? Where did he come from? What took so long? I mean, Du Plessis really is one of the more fascinating stories if you want to sit down and study. Sean O'Malley was able to go from 10-1 with 1 win. In 15 minutes, he went from number 10 to number 1, which he parlayed into a world title fight in the standing that he has today. That was remarkable. But Du Plessis was a curtain jerker on an undercard on a show that wasn't even sold out. December 10th of last year was so abysmal. They did not want to do the fight. It was supposed to be Prohaska and Glover. They did everything they could do to not do the fight. They even allowed a rumor of Jones versus Stipe to come into play that they knew was not going to happen, but they allowed the rumor because there was no interest for the card. On this down of a card, and Du Plessis was still on a prelim. And he said, that's bull, you know what? And he stood up for himself and he fought back. And now he's sharing the main stage. Now he's sitting in the cool guy seats that you can't even buy. Now he's getting ready to headline a pay-per-view. And the winner of that is going to draw into 300. And where that goes, I don't know. Is that Izzy or is that Chimaev? I don't know. There is for sure a massive plan for the winner of this fight. For sure. And what a difference a day makes. And before you go and think that that's good money at 2-1, I just remind you, you don't know if he can go 5 rounds. You don't even know how he's going to do in a main event. Completely different feel. It's a completely different pressure. Meanwhile, Sean Strickland lives in 5 rounds. All he does is main events. I'm just sharing with you. You're the ones that always tell me how important experience is. You're the ones that always want to talk about how important confidence is. I don't go around using those words. You do. Well, one guy has them both. But according to you, he's the underdog.